10 years ago, we lived through some of the most intense paranormal activity imaginable. That led us to research haunted locations, to capture evidence proving the existence of supernatural beings.
Okay, can you... Oh, full caution. You're gonna leave tonight.
And help our families being tormented as we once were.
Kids alone too.
And what we discovered is that the South Coast is wickedly haunted.
That was incredible. That's what I'm talking about. That's proof.
Welcome to tonight's episode of Wickedly Haunted. I'm Todd.
And I'm Marissa.
Tonight we have an awesome episode about our investigation of the S.K. Pierce haunted Victorian mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts, one of the most haunted homes in the United States of America. Before we get into tonight's episode, though, let's run a quick intro clip to give you a little bit of the history and a little bit of what went on when we were there. Sylvester Pierce made a fortune through his successful company, S.K. Pierce & Sons Furniture Company in Gardner, Massachusetts. In the late 1880s, he decided to build a luxurious, massive mansion that matched both his wealth and social status within the community. The almost 7,000 square foot mansion features 10 bedrooms and took 100 men working day and night almost a year and a half to build. He spared no expense or detail on his home. This was the Pierce family's dream home, but shortly after moving in, it became a nightmare, as Sylvester's first wife, Susan, died of a mysterious illness a mere few weeks after moving in. Only a few years later, in 1888, Sylvester Pierce himself would also pass away. Years later, following the death of his second wife, Ellen, the 3 sons he had with her would bitterly argue over both the business and the mansion, leading to both of their declines. Following the Great Depression, the company's family business and fortune dwindled into obscurity. The youngest son, Edward, actually ended up with the mansion. Being the fact that he was no longer wealthy, he had to turn the home into a boarding house where all sorts of shady and unsavory activities occurred within its walls, leaving a negative stain on this property. There are 9 confirmed deaths that occurred within the walls of this mansion, and God knows how many unconfirmed deaths due to the boarding house. My question is, with all these strange layers, is it the Pierce family spirits battling the spirits of the non-family boarders, or is it all of them together causing this strange and sometimes negative activity? Welcome to Wickedly Haunted on New Bedford Guide. I'm Todd.
I'm Marissa.
I'm Brandon.
We are standing in front of the S.K. Pierce haunted Victorian mansion in Gardner, Massachusetts, a house that we have wanted to come to for a long time, as we have seen it on countless paranormal shows. Although I'm going to tell you this right now, we're on our way out the door, and what we experience here and what we are about to see is going to blow your mind. The activity here did not stop for 1 second. From setup to breakdown, we're talking REM pods blowing up at full, every light on, every alarm on. Still going off over there. It's been going off for like 10, 15 minutes. For what? 20 minutes, half an hour? SLS stick figures, EMF detectors going off, static detectors, everything going off at the same time. But look, now the static detector's going off, look. And every time I try to reset it goes to... This is nuts.
Oh, what's going on over here?
I've never even seen anything like this, ever. So that's why it's like 2 in the morning, but we are still hyped up. So get ready, buckle up that seatbelt. It's going to be a crazy ride on this roller coaster into this place, the S.K. Pierce house in Gardner, Massachusetts. Wickedly haunted. So as you can see from that intro, the place is absolutely massive. I believe it was 10 bedrooms, absolutely huge, 3 floors. he really did spare no expense, as every piece of wood was handcrafted, hand crown moldings. I mean, absolutely incredible house. Absolutely
Yeah,
gorgeous.
it was huge. It was huge, but I think it was 13 bedrooms.
I believe there is 9 confirmed deaths in the history of the house. Obviously, records a bit spotty back then, especially during the era when it was the boarding house. Even after Edward Pierce ended up selling the house, a guy named Jay Stemmerman bought it, and I believe he continued that boarding house scenario. And there was gambling in there, prostitution, alcoholism, drug addiction. I mean, all sorts of bad stuff. There's a story of a prostitute being strangled to death in there in that red room that you saw.
Yeah.
There is all sorts of like bizarre stories. A couple of Mr. Pierce's children died young. Rachel Pierce, the 2-year-old daughter, died of the Spanish flu in like 1913 or something, or 1918, or I forget what it was.
I'm not sure.
But there's children in there. On an episode of Paranormal Witness, this place appeared on it. It was actually a really good episode. And there's a spirit of a boy that's seen all over the house named Samuel.
Yeah, Samuel. Yeah.
Especially on the 3rd floor. Now, a young boy moved in across the street with his mother, and the child kept telling his mother that the young kid across the street, he kept seeing him up on the 3rd floor window, and he kept telling him that he wanted him to come over and play. Now, I don't know how this interaction was going on, whether it was psychically or not, but somehow this spirit was conveying to this little boy that he wanted to come over and play. So the mother brings him over to the house, and when they knock on the door, the former owners, Lillian and Edwin Gonzalez, convey to the mother that they don't have any children.
Yeah.
They've never had any children. And the little boy doesn't believe them, so they bring the kid inside, and he runs right up to the 3rd floor, right where he's seeing the kid, okay? And he can't believe that the kid's not there. And he said, well, this is the room he wants me to play in. Okay. That's where the majority of this episode takes place, is up on the 3rd floor. And we really focused on that room where this young boy was seen and wanted to play with him. It was a massive, absolutely massive room. Now, we always discuss the difference between like virgin haunted areas where people don't go a lot, the cases we get called in that have never been investigated, and these famous haunts like the S.K. Pierce house, where ghost hunting is done on almost a nightly basis. And what we find is that these famous haunts, the activity is usually on a completely different level. There's a few different reasons for that, but I believe the main reason is that these spirits are used to using the equipment that we bring to interact and communicate with them. A lot of these spirits are from a time frame when they didn't have electronics. They didn't even have radios. They didn't have electricity. To them, this stuff looks like magic. We've heard that even come out of the spirit box.
That before too. It's magic.
Yeah. Technology to somebody from the 1800s, 1600s is indistinguishable from magic. To them, it's witchcraft. They've never seen stuff like that. But in these famous haunts, like the boarding house, like this house, they're used to seeing this equipment and interacting with it. Now, the other difference is that in the virgin haunts, they're happy to talk to us because they've been trying to communicate with people for years, and they've been ignored the whole time. In some of these famous haunts, some of the inner spirits are not too thrilled to talk to you and are sick of being bothered on a nightly basis. And let's face it, some of the people who call themselves paranormal investigators don't treat these spirits like humans.
Right.
Okay.
They're just like circus freaks. That's what that. I feel
Tim
like that's-
Weisberg had a great analogy. He told us once, a lot of people treat it like they're going out, hunting for deer.
Yes. Yeah. I remember when he said that.
Okay. And they're out there trying to bag a deer, and they're not out there trying to give these spirits a voice and treat them like the human beings that most of them are.
Right.
We have lived in 2 haunted homes, including the one we're streaming from right now. So we know that they're human beings, and our goal is always to give them a voice, to prove to the world they exist, and to try to get a piece of their story.
Right. They want to be heard. They want to
So,
be heard.
without any further ado, please comment, ask any questions about the episode, about the things you're seeing. about paranormal investigation in general, about Marissa and I and our investigations, tell us where you're watching the show from, whatever. Please get involved. What we're going to do is show a clip. We're going to give a quick analysis of what we saw, and then we're going to get into any comments and questions. So we love interaction. Also, real quick, we're just going to mention that if you are experiencing any strange phenomenon in your house and you would like Marissa and I to come out and investigate with our group, Relatively Paranormal, you can go to our website, relativelyparanormal.com. The booking form I have now moved to the top of the website, so it's easy to get to. It's just quick name, phone number, that type of thing. If you want to give us a quick blurb about what's going on, that's great. Or you can also go to our email account, relativelyparanormal@gmail.com, and send us a line right through there. However, it doesn't matter. It'll get to us either way. While you're on the website, it does have links to our YouTube channel, Relatively Paranormal, our TikTok channel, Relatively Paranormal, and our public Facebook page, Relatively Paranormal. Real easy. We keep it simple. So, without further ado, let's get into everybody's favorite part of the show, the activity and the evidence. Let's roll clip 1, and we'll see you in a few. So, if you want to communicate with us, this device, all you have to do is come over here and touch this antenna. See this right here? Come touch this antenna, and it lets us know you're here. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Thank you. Thank you. Look, we got action. Can you touch it again just so we know that's you? It's heat. That's heat.
Awesome.
We got temperature rising. We got a temperature rising right now.
Oh, wait. Where's the thermometer thingy?
This thing's running right now. We have temperature rising right there. There. Well, there's temperature rising right there. See, that's what that noise was.
No, that's
That's showing up again. That's showing up. Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you back away?
Turn on that.
Well, yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Oh.
Okay. My volume's up all the way.
Wait, did we do, no, we didn't do like outsider.
Outsider.
I just got a hold
It
of
said outsider. All right, so listen, everybody,
Should we do Facebook Live real quick?
before everybody coming in there, let's pray real quick. Let's get our prayer on. What happened to her? What is making that
What's
noise?
that vibration thing?
It is?
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, knock on it again. Thank you. Thank you.
I got it.
Okay, can we?
Is it?
No, I think
Is that on the window?
Oh.
Can you knock on it if you?
Oh, is it this one?
Are you sure it's not that thing?
Oh.
Who's the motion detector?
It said unlock. That's what I said. It's motion detector.
Oh, all right. So hold on. If you understand 1 for yes and 2 for no, make that go off for yes. Beep it for yes. Go ahead. Make it go off. We can ask you questions. We're not quite set up yet, but go ahead. The motion detector. This motion detector right here is going off right now. Oh, they turned it on. This motion detector gets easily manipulated by the spirits. I don't know how or why, but this is the remote. It was not, you saw it not over here. I'm gonna leave the remote within. Well, the remote actually sits this stuff. The big bulky one that we hardly ever use.
Samuel, isn't that his name?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Samuel. That's a little boy. Yes.
Hello.
That's his name?
Yes.
Samuel, if you're here, can you make one of those
He wants to.
devices go back off? That one over there again?
Oh my God, yes.
Like that one. Can you make that go off again if that's you? Kid! Samuel, if you're going to bring it down. Oh, what is that?
This one in here?
You're going to use all of it.
Okay, it's spiking up over there.
Samuel, if you come touch this antenna, it won't hurt you, but it'll make these pretty lights go off. See this metal rod? You can make it, and the closer you get, the more pretty lights will go off. Look! It's making
the curtain move too. Look at the curtain. The curtain's moving.
Oh my God. This place is eye control. We can't even get set up.
There's no
Thank
way.
you.
You're not fast enough. You can't walk by and make that go off.
No, that's heat. That's a heat thing, though.
Oh, yeah.
That's not EMF. Look, I've never even.
That's
This is up on 1.2.
When that went off at the Oliver House the second time for the documentary, it was going off on the cold.
Look, it says bank.
All right, is this Samuel? Make it go off again. This is Samuel. What just happened? They threw that thing off the thing. Look. What's that, huh? Look, this place is going nuts.
It just threw my Christmas tree off the
Yes.
chair. That's
Yes.
That was
Throw
there.
thing. It just flung that. I watched it fly off the chair.
Oh
That's the
my
first time I've ever
God.
seen something.
You don't have a camera on it?
Look, the ramp
Look, and that thing was going off right there. Can we just get the camera all the way
I
down
got
the
it.
road?
No, I
We got
got
no
it.
cameras. What the heck?
Hold on. Yeah, listen.
Can we get
I need, oh, this died already. God damn it. I need that, a big pop. I need it.
God damn, I was gonna eat that too. I'm gonna leave it alone. It wants it. The kid wants the treat, probably.
Oh,
You
yeah.
want the treat?
Look at it in the palace's menu.
Many spirits here? If there are a lot of spirits here, can you make that go off again?
This thing's going to
That was crazy.
This camera died.
0.5 to 0.5.
That thing was in the center.
How are you?
So the Rice History tree went flying, the parallels went off, the red chocolate nuts, and the vibration detector went off. That is crazy. All in one speaking talk. Yes, look!
I'm way far away.
Oh, listen, bro, that ain't, that's a ghost, bro, for
That's
sure.
crazy.
That's heat.
I want to go pee, but
That means the heat.
Stuff is happening.
That means that the heat is spiking over there, and this is a ice cold room. It's next to the window, like you said. Thank you. Thank you. Look, now it's making that go off again. Now it's messing with the motion detector. We're not going to be able to use that motion detector for myself.
Too much.
Hey, turn it back on. Look.
Yeah,
Look. Film it.
over here.
Look. Look. I'm turning it on. Off and on. Look. Hold on. Look. Show this. I'm putting the remote over here. Look. I do not have that remote. Okay. So now look. Whoever that is, can you make that go on and off again? Is this Samuel? If this is Samuel, make that go on and off.
What is that?
Diction.
It's gonna go off. It's gonna go off. You turn it on. If this is someone else, look. Damn. Alright, I'm gonna have to shut this one off. So is this Paul? Make that go off if your name's Paul.
Please don't make that one go off anymore.
Oh, look, it's Paul.
Paul, do you like that noise?
Hi, Paul.
Window. Hold on, I gotta-
No way, dude. You're gonna shoot that window. That says window?
Sure does.
Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Oh my God.
Yes, you
Look
are
at
by the
this.
window, aren't you?
I want to get this done so we get the lights off. Good Lord.
I know, we still have the sinking light.
All right, can you back away from that? Good Lord.
We're so excited that you came to communicate with
What
us.
was that?
We truly
There was
have
a clicking noise over here.
I heard that.
Thank you. All right, can you back away? Back away. Who's got the full spectrum? You? All right, I got this. Can I see the side of it?
Can you
Is it a
step
mic
away
one?
from that, please? Oh, you must really like noise. You do like that noise. No, you don't.
You can shut it off while we set up. Watch this amazing display of spirit energy orbs begin flooding out of all the rooms on the third floor, all heading in the same direction, towards the room we are setting up for tonight's investigation, which is about to begin. Right here, one of them even bounces into him and flies off on its way back down the hallway. Boom. Oh, I just went right through you, bro.
Jesus.
Two. Hi. We see you. Did you just go hi? Thank you. That was awesome.
Which, first of all, tell me which one are we investigating? Not this one?
Well, yes, we are. I'm setting up a static camera out here because we're going to walk through and walk into different rooms and get different shots, okay? If somebody wants to go off by themselves for a second, feel free, go nuts. Just tell the other people that you're doing that, so we know there's one less person watching the cameras. Just bring a piece of equipment with you and try to do something, whatever. Or hang out with the group, it don't matter. All right, that's good to go. All right, who's that? All the cameras are going down? This one? This issue?
Yes. Oh, we're ready for it.
All right. So as you can see, we didn't even have a chance to set up before things started popping off all over the place. Most of this episode is us setting up. So it's not that we're unprofessional morons where I have my hand in front of the camera and everything. I'm trying to like get the lens cap off and turn the camera on and screw it into the tripod and everything. And all this crazy activities going off. Now, as paranormal investigators, when things happen, you just got to go with it. It could be the only evidence you get that entire night. So you got to go with what happens. Now, what you saw in the beginning heavily was this device right here, which is one of the best pieces of equipment we have ever purchased. It's called a REM pod. This is the REM pod 2.0. So it does a couple different things. I'm just going to demonstrate real quick, and then we're going to get into another video. Is when you turn it on, okay, it's a proximity sensor. So the closer my hand gets to this antenna, the crazier sounds it makes, the more it lights up, okay? But it also, let me shut this off real quick. It also has an ambient temperature sensor in it that checks the temperature like every 10 seconds or every 5 seconds. Now, if the temperature deviates, either cold or hot, if it deviates higher, it'll light up a little red light and it will stop making that high pitch noise it was making. If it deviates lower, a blue light lights up and it makes a different sound. This entire episode, the temperature just kept rising. Now, here's the funny part about it. This was in a windowsill, okay? In an old Victorian mansion, okay? So we all know windowsills are a little bit drafty in those places. It wasn't so much drafty there, but the windowsill is obviously colder than the rest of the room. Mm-hmm. So there is no reason for this heat to keep spiking on this like that. No reason at all. And if you notice, it was doing it on command and setting off other devices in the room.
Well, which is another thing, though, that, I mean, I think it's weird because you would think that if a spirit was coming close to something that it would get colder and not warmer.
Yes, I mean, spirits normally draw thermal energy from the air so they can manifest and communicate with us, which causes the temperature to drop. Here it was spiking, but negative entities, especially demons, are supposed to cause temperature to rise within the room. Okay? Now, it was just really strange, but it was doing it on command, and it was setting off other devices within the room at the same time. That robotic voice you hear is called the Paralysis. It is a word bank app that spirits can manipulate to communicate with us, and it spits out words. It was spitting out intelligent words, names, Samuel, and then it said kid right after. Mm-hmm. So it was very, very compelling, all the things that were happening. And that's why we just roll with it. And we're trying to ask questions and investigate even before we got started setting up. It was absolutely crazy. So I'm not sure if there are any questions or comments. But again, please get involved with the show. It looks like we do have a comment there. Been there a few times, loved it. The place is incredible. We absolutely plan on going back again. It was awesome. Reminds me of Maplecroft, and it's where Lizzie Borden died.
Right.
Yeah, Lizzie Borden house was nuts too. Like to stay overnight there. It's beautiful.
I'd like to too. Do you think they allow that? I never even asked.
He's trying to turn it into like a bed and breakfast type thing.
Yeah.
Why were you there if it's so bad? Well, number one, we don't judge a place without going there ourselves. Number two, there wasn't a lot of I don't know. There wasn't a lot of stuff out there that it was horrific. I mean, we didn't get attacked there or anything. I mean, that's not bad. I mean, we were just saying because the heat was rising on it, that it may have been a negative entity. Seems like fun. I'm glad that you popped up.
Thanks, Janine.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, we appreciate watching.
Yeah, we love that. That place was awesome. So it wasn't bad. It's just a lot of locations when there's a lot of spirits. 9 deaths there. I don't know how many of those linger there, but there was quite a few spirits there.
Yeah.
Anytime there's a place with a lot of spirits, negative entities are drawn there. It's just the way it is.
But
we come across it a lot.
It wouldn't stop me from going there because that's what I'm interested in. I want to see the good and I want to see the bad.
Yes.
I want to know what's what's there, what's after
Okay,
life.
the building we live in, we have a good human spirit,
Mm.
and we have a negative entity that may be demonic. I'm not sure. We hear growling on this show sometimes in the form of EVPs right through this microphone. I mean, I don't know, but it wouldn't stop us from going there anyway. We go to
Yeah.
people's homes where there's negative entities and demons all the time and try to cleanse homes for people.
Mhm. And we learn new stuff. Every single investigate, we learn something different, I think.
We're trying to get answers for ourselves, having lived in 2 haunted homes.
That was in Gardner, Massachusetts.
Yeah, it's the S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian Mansion. I got it right on my shirt here in Gardner, Massachusetts. But we're trying to get answers for ourselves and for you folks. We're trying to show everybody that this stuff does exist, that people are not crazy when they tell you they're experiencing this. Okay, these things do go on. We have lived it for quite a few years. And we're also trying to help people being terrorized as we once were at the old haunted location, and we've had a couple of negative incidences here. We're not afraid to fight spiritual warfare, and I do have a little bit of a grudge, against the entity that would paralyze me and hold me down at the first haunted house.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's just the way it is. But that's part of the deal. This is a dangerous thing. It's not a joke. People go out, they think it's a joke, and
we take it very seriously. We
like
have to.
Yeah. People take it like they're going to the Fear Factory in Fall River, whatever that place is, the haunted, whatever that place is, the Factory of Terror.
Yeah.
It's not a joke like that. It's not. These things can follow you home. They can do a lot of things to you. So, but anyway, let's get on to the second video because we don't have a ton of time tonight. We got a lot of evidence and a lot of video shows. So let's roll the second video. Please comment, and we'll get right to your comments after the next video. When we investigate, we normally try to set up an experiment in an area in a different part of the location, usually as far away from us as humanly possible. In this case, we set up our experiment on the floor below us on the completely opposite side of the house. We put a motion detector, an SLS camera, a static night vision camera, a REM pod, and a voice recorder in a room that was once occupied by a man named Eno Sori when this house was a rooming house in the mid-1900s. The story goes that Eno Sori was a man who liked to drink and smoke in bed, and unfortunately that caused him to set a fire in his room, and he burned to death in this very spot in the S.K. Pierce house. "20 minutes later, I come back downstairs to place down the voice recorder and for some unknown reason decide to reposition the SLS camera and make a shocking discovery. Oh, you powered up over there? Hi. Hi, my name's Todd. Hi. If you're Enos, can you raise your hand?
No.
Can you raise your hand? Up in the air? Go ahead, raise your hand. Can you raise your hand, sir? Hi. Oh, God. Can you raise your hand? Can you raise your hand, you, sir, powering up? Can you raise your hand up in the air? Can you shake my hand? Can you come over here and shake my hand, sir? You on the bed. Can you come over here and shake my hand? I see you. I know you're coming up, but Clint, he's on the power plant. Amazing. If this is Enos, can you raise your hand? Just raise your hand like this. Go ahead, raise your hand. Right here on the bed, there's a figure, okay? On the bed. Okay, if this is someone else, can you raise your hand? Is this Mrs. Pierce? Is this Ellen Pierce? Can you raise your hand? Is this Edward Pierce? Can you raise your hand? What's crazy about this catch on the voice recorder of a woman screaming the word "why" is the fact that directly across the hall from this room is the master bedroom of the house where former homeowners Edwin and Lillian Gonzalez slept at night. Repeatedly, they were awoken by an apparition of a female standing in the corner of that room, screaming the word "why" as in torment or pain over the loss of her baby.
Which room?
Go to the right. No stories room. I can't. Oh, jeez. Homie's still there, look. He's still there, buddy, look.
You touch my hand?
Yeah, this thing's dead, bro. No, this thing's dead. Hey, this thing's dead, bro. The motion detector, they drained it. They just. Oh, there it goes. Alright. Yeah, I tried that. Alright, so listen. Can you hear me just one thing, bro? Sure. When you come back upstairs, just turn it back towards the room. Start by the side. And try to stay out late. Just turn it back towards the room. See how it stays in the wall. You can do whatever. No. Alright, so ready for me, bro. After an astonishing amount of time, this entity finally disappears on the SLS camera as we arrive on the second floor to begin our investigation down there. Okay, so I just realized I had forgot to put in a subtitle. That siren you're hearing is a motion detector. And as you can see, the first time it goes off, you can hear us talking upstairs on the third floor. That was on the second floor, and it went off with nobody in the room. Mm-hmm. So that's why that part was in there. Now, what was amazing about that is that went on for like 20 minutes, half an hour at least. That manifestation occurred on the SLS camera. That doesn't happen. Usually it's a few minutes, a few seconds, usually on TV. Yeah. But what was important about that scene is that this device right here is an energy pump that I use in our investigations. And what it does is it feeds the spirits energy so they can interact and communicate with us all night. This was on the pillow where that thing was sitting at first. I didn't even notice it in the beginning of the clip that he was behind me already over there. Then what's really creepy is it crawls off the end of the bed and jumps on the floor in front of the headboard and starts shooting his arm out at me. I think he was like, I don't know whether he went down there to yell at me or he was trying to shake my hand finally.
Yeah, maybe he was trying to shake your hand.
But let me tell you something, like that is a spirit. There's nothing on that bed that could cause a false positive like that.
Right.
So when you're by yourself in a haunted mansion, a floor away from everybody else, and you see something crawl off the bed and jump towards you, it's a little creepy. To me, it's exciting. To most people, it'd be a little freaky, but that's why I went and got Brandon and brought him down to see it. And I was actually stunned that he was still there like 10 minutes later. So pretty cool. Now, you're going to see the term EVP up there a lot, just so you know what that means. That is electronic voice phenomenon. And what that is spirit voices captured on digital media that we do not hear at the time. Okay, so if it says EVP and we're all standing right there, Marissa and I and Brandon, we didn't hear that at the time. That's something I hear later on when I'm reviewing the evidence. There's a lot of EVPs in this episode, so that's why I'm putting that out there, so that you understand that those things that come up on the EVP are imprinted on the digital media. We're not hearing them at the time, which makes them pretty incredible. And that the woman screaming "why," the previous owners would see a woman in their bedroom, which was directly across the hall, which is where it sounded like that came from.
Yeah.
And they would wake up, and this apparition would be standing in the corner of the room, crying, screaming, why, like that. And supposedly it might have been the woman who lost the 2-year-old daughter. I don't know. But it was one of the Pierce ladies. So I'm not sure if there's any questions or comments. If not, we can roll right into the next video. We're happy to answer any if they're on there. But if there's not, then please comment, ask questions. We love it when people get involved. That's why we do the show, to educate, to let people know that it really exists, and to offer help. Do you think that the figure was talking with you or with the other ghosts? That's the funny thing, is sometimes we do hear them talking to the other ghosts, especially through our spirit box, the vortex, but both, because I heard them asking a question. It sounded like it was asking another spirit the question, and then they shushed. It sounded like they shushed the other ghosts. So, both of them. I think they're trying to talk to us, and sometimes I think they're trying to talk to the spirit. So, what the hell is this doing?
Is that on?
No. I don't know what just happened. Okay, let's roll the next video, because I don't know what that just
was
did.
so weird.
What is that? Shattered. It's looking at this thing probably, this laptop with a cracked edge. It's shattered. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna aim it down there. Oh, come on, bro. Are you kidding me? That's stupid. Bigger.
If you can make them bigger. Wow.
Like that?
Oh my God. Oh, it just went in the room.
It did?
That was crazy. Wow. Another one.
Really?
It just floated up.
It looks as if the flashlight is slowly pushed off this table. It had sat motionless there for 30 minutes as we walked all around it, and it never moved an inch.
I can't find that Samsung camera. If the entity that threw the man over the railing is here, can you... Okay? Alright. Whoa. Can you back away? Back away from it. Thank you. Alright, that was you. Can you touch it again? Awesome. If you were a child, can you touch that again? Okay. If you're an adult, can you touch that again? What's that say? Affair? Good grief. Did someone have an affair in this house? Can you touch that again? Okay, that's fine. Well, if you want to touch the antenna over there, that metal rod, it will make that go up, and the pretty lights and sound go up. You have to get, look, dude, so you really have to get, I'm like 20. What the hell? Thank you. Are you a man? Can you make that go up if you're a man? I'd like to develop communication with you. This is one way to do it. If you're a woman, can you make that go up? If you are a lady, can you make that go up? If you are one of the children here, can you make that go up? No? Yes. Okay, you're one of the children. Okay. Whoa! That's going up. That's a heat right there. If you were a boy, can you make that go up? Did you live here? If you live here, can you make that beep again and turn red? By grabbing the top of it? This other box over here you can touch as well. Oh my God, there goes 6.2.
Jeez.
Excellent. Have you been here a long time? Yes, okay. Are there other children here with you? If there are other children here, can you make that go off? All right, so there's no other children here with you? There's none? There's no other children. Okay, are you lonely? Are you sad? Whoa! That's the REM pod. I'll just use this to get the numbers on it. It's crazy. I can only shoot me. I'll do this. Okay. Are you sad and lonely here? Can you make that go off if you're sad? Do you need help? Why does this keep going? Do you need help? If you need help, can you make one of those go off? Do you need the light? Yes. See that rain? That's crazy.
What's going on?
Yeah. Go ahead, check. Like, stand there and shoot my light. Okay, you know what I'm saying?
So I don't want to go off this camera.
No, that's okay. Oh, yeah, it's fine. So, you need help finding the light? When you passed away, I don't want to get you upset. Okay. Did you see the light then? Did you see the light when you passed away? You did. You did. Did you just not know not to go in it? You weren't sure what to do? Yeah? Okay. Whoa! That thing's going nuts over there. Okay. Sam! Did that say Sam? No, it says fan. Whoa, that thing's going nuts.
Here's the fan.
Oh yeah, 67.
You can hear the fan.
66.
You hear the fan?
67. Alright. Do you want to move on from here and go with your family? Are there any members of your family here with you? Do you have family here with you? 6. 6 of them?
They keep saying
Does that say 6?
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. That said 6? 6. So, can you make that go up? There's 6 of your family members here, is that correct? Make it go up if there's 6 of you here. No, that's not correct. Are there less than... It is correct. That means it's correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. There's 6 of your family members here, so that was an intelligent response. Whoa, Carlos! And now the REM pods are going nuts. Can you touch the bar right here? You see the bar? Can you make the 3 lights go on too? I know you're over there. Whoa, everything's going nuts over there.
Quartz.
No.
Oh my God.
Quartz.
Wow, let's take a picture of that.
What's going on here? Are you kidding me?
Quartz.
Dude, come on, bro.
Wow, you can feel the quartz? Do you like quartz? We were talking about it earlier.
It's plugged in. This is plugged in. That's plugged in. On. So why are you not on, sir? This is crazy.
So that is when things was just getting absolutely crazy. The REM pod just wouldn't stop all night. Again, I think it's just because they were familiar with that device. But why the temperature kept rising, there was no heat in the place. I know I'm wearing shorts and a t-shirt, but that was October 2nd. It was kind of chilly that night. The woman that runs the place was down on like the first floor, and she was sitting under a heated blanket. So it was chilly. I'm just a lunatic who wears shorts all the time. I'm wearing shorts right now, so it's just something I do. But we're going to run the last video unless there's any questions or comments. We're running a little short on time, and we do have one last crazy video to show where we finally do get to investigate the room finally after almost an hour and a half of setting up, which should have taken us 20 whole minutes. So no questions or comments. Again, you can throw them in there after this last video. But if not, let's run the last video.
Any dead people, any astral beings, supernatural entities in this building. We're finally ready. Sorry it took us so long to get ready to communicate with you and to interact with you. We had a few technical difficulties, but those are over now. We are ready to go. For 2 months, I haven't tried it. I keep asking questions. Samuel, does Enos bully you? Does he try to boss you? He does.
Who's Samuel? Dad?
The boy.
Oh, the little boy.
Okay, can you shut up? Does your dad try to stop him, Samuel? Can you make the leg off with your dad and Enos fight? Do they get into fights? Does your dad protect you? He does. Look.
Oh, big hit. Wow.
Why do they fight? Because Enos is bullying the family. The boy. Because he's not part of the family, he's downstairs.
Do you miss?
Whoa.
Memory.
That is wild, huh? Okay, back away, I get it. He's not nice, okay. Go ahead, back away.
Touch it all the way.
You said year. You know the year? Do you know that the year is 2021?
Sure.
Do you miss the kid who used to live next door?
Yeah.
Gender.
Was it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy. Do you wish that boy had come up here to play with you?
The child?
The boy from across the street that used to come around? Do you wish he played with you? Yes. Okay. Did you, go ahead, were you able to talk to him with your mind from up here to down there? Really? You were. Okay, where's the headphones so I can Bluetooth them? How do you get? How do you do that? Can you read people's minds? Are you able to read people's minds? Or just that boy, you had a connection with the boy?
No.
You had a connection with the boy. Pretty lights go on. Can you do that again? Whoa. Oh, awesome! Awesome, look,
Whoa, that's awesome.
good job, Samuel. That's awesome. Hi. Awesome. Boom, and the light goes on. Wow. Rachel? Hey, there wasn't Rachel on the list. I know I saw Rachel. There was a Rachel on mine, I just saw her. Is Rachel here? Turn on the light if there's a Rachel here. I'll make that device go off. I know I saw a name that was Rachel. Wow.
Nice.
Rachel died at the Spanish flu in 1916.
There was Rachel.
At the moment I find Rachel Pierce's name on this list, an orb shoots directly at the paperwork.
That came off and said Rachel. Stop. Is Rachel here? Yes. Wow.
Are we communicating with Rachel?
Empty.
Rachel, turn off the light.
Rachel, go ahead.
Turn it off.
Rachel, did you get really sick when you passed away? Did you get really sick? Alright, let's pray up. Come on. Heavenly Father, please cast a bright white light of protection around us. Keep us from harm, attachment, or drain from any negative or evil entities that may reside in this building or may have even come here with us. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you, Heavenly Father. We appreciate it. Amen. Hello? Oh, now they're working, I think. Somehow they shut off the thing. There's somebody else. There's Enos up here. Somebody turn the light off if Enos Story is up here. Are there any other spirits up here that can tell us is Enos bullying people in this house? Does he run this house? You give the orders here, the marching orders? Turn on the light if he does. Okay. Oh, he does. So he can be telling you guys what to do? Shut up. Shut up. Something's like touching my leg, dude. Feels light, or like real light, like small fingers that go through. Kill. What?
Killing.
Killing? That's what it says. Is Enos killing spirits? Whoa. How does he do that? He's doing that? He's killing spirits? Wow. Whoa. I want to step away from that. That's really loud. You can use that to confirm, but I have to like, whatever you do to make that go off, the community certainly about that is the key. Because spirits usually bring cold, other things bring heat. Alright. Okay, can we use the flashlight to try to find out how many spirits are here with us? Will you shut up, step away from the other thing? Alright. I'm gonna count. Yeah, that's okay, hold on. When I get to the number of spirits here, can you make the light go off?
Lights off in the hallway.
What? Oh, we got a motion detector on the hospital. No? It was off at the time?
It's off.
We got a motion detector going off out here. Want to check this out?
West. Is that west?
You see that flashlight was saying?
Oh, look, they're going to the
Whoa, grandpa's going off. Whoa! That means they're touching that antenna.
Oh, and the thing outside, hallway, the light
They have-
pressure thing.
It's been one, that's what I was wondering.
Oh.
Device! It said device. It said device. So you're touching that device, you make the flashlight.
Turn it off again.
Look.
That's it.
Whoa! Can you turn on the flashlight? You're making that go off. Turn the light back on. You're making that go off.
So we have Samuel in here, who's a boy, and his parents.
Look, there's a light. Boom. The light's going off. Wow. There is so much going on here. It's hard to keep up with
So
it.
much.
You got to go off. There's so much.
Is somebody in the hallway?
Turn on the light if they're afraid to come in. Afraid to come in. Hey, adjective? Are they afraid to come in the room? Yes. Okay. Now, can I ask you a question? Okay. Do you like the energy in the room? Are you taking energy? Are you taking somebody? Oh, they do. Excellent. You hear that already?
This is metal.
What does? This hit? That hit? I need another memory chip, right? Alright, hold on. Oh, that's going nuts. That's going nuts, yeah. What, is Samuel here, or was that something pretending to be him?
He's here.
So he's here?
Yeah, did you hear it? He's here.
Are there any other members? Todd? Yeah. I need a flashlight. So I can change the SD card on this. There we go. Right. How many members of the Pierce family are here? There isn't? Well, who's here then? Who's here? Well, then who are you? The one saying I said. The one that's saying that there's a Neiman Day here.
Samuel, can you talk to that?
Is that you right here?
I'm gonna flip this mic. That thing's going nuts over there.
I said, is that you? I yes? Do it again? We just want to talk to Samuel for now, guys. Do you miss the little boy?
There you go. What the fuck is that? Back away. What
In the slow motion replay of the SLS V2 3D mapping camera, you can see the arrow is pointing out an area where it appears as though something is trying to manifest towards the middle of that screen. That white area that right now looks like an arm. It's an odd manifestation that this 3D camera is catching, and something we have certainly never seen before.
Alright, so listen, we're gonna move down to the second floor. If you'd like to come with us.
What was this? All right, so obviously things got really crazy there, really fast, and it just keeps going the whole night. That's episode 1 of the S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian Mansion. Let me tell you something. Marissa and I have already started reviewing a lot of the evidence for the next episode, and it even gets better.
Yeah,
It gets better. One, I can't believe we caught on camera a flashlight being thrown off a table. We were a floor away, all three of us. You can hear us talking, and you can honestly see that thing slide off the table and get pushed off. I wish we caught the Rice Krispie treat go flying, but I saw it levitate off the chair, and it hit the ground with such force that it set off the vibration detector. Really, just an incredible location. I don't know if there's any more questions and comments. We're short of time because tomorrow, Marissa and I are headed to the extremely haunted Burlington County Prison in Mount Holly, New Jersey, where the two of us are going to be alone in that haunted prison for 6 hours by ourselves investigating ghosts. We do have a comment. How do you manage to understand them? I spend hours and hours and hours and hours listening to footage of the spirit box, and I can understand it live now very well. Marissa can too. The more you listen to it, the easier it gets. Sometimes when I review the footage after, when I put in the subtitles, I do have to slow it down to hear because they do speak very fast, but usually I can understand it live. Do you think they need help to cross over? Yes, most of them do. Most of them are miserable, trapped, and not very happy to be stuck here. But in these famous haunts, you sign contracts. You're not allowed to free spirits. It's kind of sad. Like, I can't go in there and try to free them, even if I was a medium and knew how to bring the light. But you're not allowed to do that at Lizzie Borden's, at Rolling Hills, at places like this. You sign contracts that you won't bring sage and try to free them or whatever, or clear the place. You just can't do that.
It's awful because they're making money off these unfortunate souls. But
anyway, but I hope everybody enjoyed the evidence as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We get excited to capture it, to review it, and to show it to you guys. The next episode is going to be even crazier. Believe me, I know it's hard to top some of that stuff, but we're going to top it next time. And everybody, please wish us luck at the very haunted Burlington County Prison that we're going to be in tomorrow for 6 hours, just the two of us. We are so hyped to get there. We can't wait to get there. I mean, it's a long drive, but we're excited to make it. And once again, from our family to yours, thank you so much for watching. Come on in, Julia. This is our daughter, Julia, the littlest ghost hunter. She doesn't come with us, but sometimes we'll take her places during the day. But from our family to yours, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Thank you for watching.
Bye.
We love you guys. Hopefully we'll see you next week with episode 2 of the S.K. Pierce Haunted Victorian Mansion. We're out of here. Have a good night.